Welcome to Test Prep CA7 Part 1, question number 5. And in this question, what we have to do is we have to basically create different rectangular prisms with given volumes. Let me pull up the question here for you. Now in this question, there's actually a lot of different answers that would work. But what do we need to do in order to basically figure out how these work? You just got to remember that the formula for volume is equal to length times width times height. So what you need are just three different numbers that end up multiplying to give you whatever volume you're looking for. So if I need a volume of 64, I need three different numbers that could give me that. Three different numbers that could give me that are 1, 2, and 32, right? 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 32 is 64. So that's one way that I could do that problem. The other way I could do it, I could go, okay, so 2 times, let's see, 16 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 16 is 64. So that's another type of rectangular prism that I could draw. So there's actually really a number of different ones. Basically, as many factors are there that could evenly go into it. So whatever you drew, as long as the numbers that you drew ended up adding up to a volume of 64 for that problem, you're going to get it right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to erase that. I'm going to show you one example that I drew. This was the rectangular prism that I decided to draw. It has a width of 2, it has a height of 4, and it has a length of 8. And when you multiply 2 times 4 times 8, you're going to get a volume of 64. So 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 8 is 64. So once again, however you want to draw your rectangular prism so that as long as the sides just all multiply up to 64, you'll be all right. So for the next problem, what I did was I made this rectangle. And this was a rectangle I made, and it basically has a height of 1, it has a width of 3, and it has a length of 4. And once again, if you multiplied 1 times 3 times 4, you would end up getting a volume of 12, which is exactly what we wanted in this case. So that is one option that would work. There's other ones that would work as well, but that's the option I chose to go with. As long as, once again, your three numbers multiply towards this volume of 12 that they're looking for, then that would work for that problem. Don't worry about getting the picture absolutely right. That's why we label the dimensions and things like that. But your length should be longer than your width, and your height should be fairly proportionate. It doesn't have to be exactly right, but you do want to make sure that it looks reasonable to some degree. All right, so I'm going to move on to the next one, volume 210. And this was the rectangle that I chose to draw for that. Once again, 3 times 7 is 21. 21 times 10 is going to give me a volume of 210, which is what they're looking for. And for the last one here, the one that I chose to draw was this rectangle. And that's the rectangle that I chose to draw. It has a width of 2, it has a length of 31, and it has a height of 2 as well. So once again, any rectangle that you draw, as long as the dimensions multiply to give you the volume of 124, then it's going to work for that problem. Well, I hope you had a great time with that one. I'll see you in the next problem.